to ask for everybody's courtesy. You know, in this nation of ours, we have a democracy, and this gentleman disagrees with me. Every 2 years, he gets a chance. And we should just leave it at that.
We have a republic.
Sir, we're having a meeting here. The courtesy we extended to you, extended to the rest of the mass majority of the people that are here.
Tell the truth.
Okay? You have your opportunity. We've been treated with courtesy to be here, and now people have come here to listen to my colleague. So we need to act courtesy and reflect the rest of the people that are here. Nobody's here to be bullied, and you shouldn't be doing it.
And you should stop lying through your teeth.
So as we go forward on this long and difficult road on immigration, one of the things is to make sure our community is aware that this is a fight, and a fight that is worth taking on, and an effort that is worth committing our energy and our time. And I can think of no individual in Congress that has dedicated their time, their energy, their resources to promoting decent, fair, equitable immigration reform in this country than Luis Gutierrez. He doesn't take the credit, but one of the reasons that DACA exists is because of the energy and commitments and hard work that was put together under his leadership. And now we have these two executive orders that we must defend, and he is here doing that, and he will be in Albuquerque tomorrow doing it in that community, and after that Spokane, Portland, and I hope that you join with me and welcome him, and in the process of applauding, thank him as well. Luis Gutierrez.
Generous words of introduction. I'd like to let's thank the attorneys that are here to help us guide us through this legal process. I want to first say about Raul. What a breath of fresh air in the Congress of the United States when he came. He brings so much energy and so much vocation to his work. I've enjoyed working with him and collaborating with him within the Hispanic caucus, with outside of the Hispanic caucus, to make sure that we change our broken immigration system and fix it. So thank you, Raul, for having me here in Tucson once again. I want to say that let us all listen to one another. We just heard a 10-year-old, Bob, come and give, I think, everybody a lesson in civics here. And I think that people should respect that young man's courage, because it takes a lot of courage to come up here at 10 years of age, to talk about your mom, to talk about your brothers or sisters, and the pain that you feel given the broken immigration system. And anybody's heart who wasn't broken by that story, I guess they don't have a heart. Because that young man is crying right now. He's crying because he wants his mother. And if the American government cannot protect an American citizen child from the absence of their mother, then what can the American government protect? And I everybody here to commit themselves to making sure that 5 million American citizen children, who through no fault of their own, have parents that are undocumented and risk each and every day being separated from them. And that is a human tragedy. It's an American tragedy that we're here to make sure it comes to an end. I want to say to that wonderful young man, Grijalva, 12 years old, he plays baseball. The quintessential American. They say it's football, I say it's baseball. I'm from Chicago. I'm Puerto Rican. We love baseball. And to listen to him speak, he's only 12 years old. Listen to him speak about his mom and about how much he loves his mom, and to thank you all for helping his mom, Rosa. And we're going to make sure that Rosa one day leaves that sanctuary and is once again be able to walk the streets of Tucson. The dreamer, just like my daughter. Listen to her speak. What do you hear? I hear an American. Watch her as she pledges the allegiance to the flag of the United States. What do I see? I see an American. Somebody who is studying and contributing. What do I see? An American. She's American in everything but a simple piece of paper. And guess what? One day, we're going to get her that piece of paper. So she's American in every sense of the word. I would say that it's wonderful to be in Arizona. Especially when you think about it, you have 2 U.S. senators, Senators Blake and Senator McCain, both of whom voted for and adopted measures in the U.S. Senate that are broader, more expansive, and more generous than any of the president's executive orders. Those are your 2 U.S. senators in the state of Arizona. And I got to tell you something. I'm happy to be here because the last time, 4 years ago, Raul, I was in Arizona. And you know what we didn't have? We didn't have 700,000 young people free from the fear of deportation. We're working back on that. Last time I was here, dreamers couldn't get driver's licenses. They were getting them in Illinois. They were getting them in California and in New York and across this country. And now they're going to get them here in the state of Arizona. The president's executive orders, what are they? They are actions on behalf of the President of the United States that allows, they are actions on behalf of the President of the United States that allows 5 million undocumented workers in this country to legalize their status. And how do they legalize their status? They legalize their status by coming forward to the government, submitting to a criminal background check at their own expense, and only if it comes back with a clean bill of health, and they've been here 5 years, and have American citizen children, will they be granted a work permit in the United States of America. That's what the President of the United States is talking. Now think about it. Aren't we safer as a nation to allow 5 million people to come out of the shadows, present themselves to the federal government, go through a criminal background check so we know who they are, we know where they live, we know who they work for? I think it is so much more beneficial to have them on the books than off the books. To have them raising their American, think about it a moment, because you can scream and you can yell and you can disagree. How can you disagree fundamentally with the right of a child, an American citizen child, to live peacefully in his home with his mom and his dad and not fear their separation? I mean, the United States, we're winning. I mean, use the Wall Street Journal, pretty conservative newspaper. New York Times. Read their editorials. They want comprehensive immigration reform. This is not a religious dispute. Catholics and Jews, Muslims, Presbyterians, movement and the Pentecostal movement are today saying, Congress, begin to act and fix our broken immigration system and stop the separation of families. The AFL-CIO spends tens of millions of dollars in the Congress lobby, and so does the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. And they both agree on what? Comprehensive immigration reform. So if you look from an editorial point of view, if you look at this from an economic point of view, if you look at this from a religious point of view, at every sphere of American society, Americans have come together as they have in the past to bring justice to its immigrant community, and that is why we will prevail today. Look, we are not alone in this movement and in this fight. I left this morning. I left my wife. I left my grandson. I left my daughter. I left my son-in-law. I left them. But you know what? They know that I'm going to return tomorrow home. My wife has that certainty. My children have that certainty. And I got to tell you something. I'm not going to rest in the Congress of the United States until every man that wakes up in the morning, every woman that wakes up in the morning and leaves his family behind to go work gets to come back to that family. Now, there are those that would say to us that we're just simply going to make the situation so harsh that they will simply self-deport. They have that illusion. The 12 million people will simply self-deport from the United States. Or that somehow the federal government, Raul and I, and we're not in charge, the Republicans in charge, but last year they adopted a budget that allows for the Department of Homeland Security to deport 400,000 people. That's the money we assign to them for 400,000 deportations, not one more. Now there are 12 million undocumented workers, 400,000. All we are saying is it makes sense to go after gangbangers and criminals and not families and children when we deport in the United States of America. That we prioritize those that are a threat to our society versus those that are a contributing factor to our society. That's all we're saying. So, I've come here tonight to say we need to continue to tell those people that have been here 5 years, ready to go through a criminal background check at your own expense. We're not paying for it. And if you come back with a clean bill of health and you have American citizen children or they're permanent residents of the United States, we're going to give you a work permit for 2 years. And be careful, because during those 2 years, now that you're registered with the government, you better watch everything that you do. Because now you're registered with the government. Now tell me, that seems to me to be a practical, sensible move in the right direction while the Congress of the United States finally comes about concluding with comprehensive immigration reform. And I want to let everybody know, look, I know lots of people are left out. This isn't the immigration reform that we've been fighting for. This is a step in the right direction. And today we were in the 5th Circuit because this is a law of land. This is a land of laws. And we went to the 5th Circuit today, we argued.
And what is it we go
And we made an argument that the president's executive order should be sustained. Now,